My beautiful angel, this video is for you. If you are someone who knows that you're meant for more, you know that you have unique gifts that you're meant to share with the world, but you have no idea what that means, what that looks like, maybe even what your gifts are, and you sure as hell have no idea where to start. And therefore, you stay stuck, dragging your feet, sleeping on your potential, compromising on your destiny. My name is Anna Lacomi. I'm known on these internet streets as the Career Guardian Angel, and I work with the most brilliant women from around the world. And there is one reason and one reason only why I see incredible, talented, intelligent, kind hearted women with big dreams. One reason why I see them not take the leap. Why I see them hesitate. And then months, sometimes years go by and they haven't pivoted. They haven't made the change. They haven't changed the course of their career and therefore their lives. And that one reason is a lack of clarity. Okay. I know a lot of people talk about confidence. Oh, I need to be more confident. I need more courage. If I were braver, maybe I would take the leap and I would quit this awful corporate job that is enslaving me and I would move to Bali and do my dream work, whatever, right? By the way, you do not have to quit your job and move to Bali. That is actually not what I recommend. And so a lot of people talk about needing more confidence. And I'm here to tell you, clarity is what fuels the fire of courage. And then that courage is what allows you to take those bold baby steps towards your purpose, towards your destiny. So, what do we need clarity about, and how do we get this clarity? So, I'll use my own example to illustrate this. But I remember 5 years ago, I was on the corporate throne and big salary, juicy title, prestige, status, all of it. And I didn't hate my job. Absolutely not. But I just felt like I was meant for more. And like I was a little bored as well. Let me know if you can relate to that. And I remember the thought of being in that same job for the next 10 to 20 years made me want to vomit. And I don't vomit frequently, but that was the feeling in my body. I was like, oh my God, I can't do that. And the one thing I knew for sure, yes, we need clarity, but if you're here, there's one thing you are probably extremely clear on, and that's what I felt. I was like, I know for a fact that I have special God-given gifts that I'm meant to use. I just knew in my heart and soul, I was like, I know I have God-given gifts that are unique that I'm meant to use. And I didn't know what they were. I just knew I wasn't using them. I was like, this ain't it. And I knew that there was more. Okay, and so what I did to get that clarity that then catapulted my entire career that you see right now is I decided in that moment, I was like, I'm going to get clarity. I'm going to get clear on what my gifts are, and I am going to figure out how I can potentially use these gifts. What does that actually look like? What careers are open for me? Should I do entrepreneurship? What am I doing? It started with just that decision. So, my love, right now, I want you to, together with me, decide if you are resonating with this video, you are meant for great things, and you also have God given gifts that you're meant to use to change the world. Okay, so I want you to decide right now, no matter what happens, you are determined to figure out what your gifts are and how you can use them in a way that feels good, in a way that's aligned to your values, in a way that's authentic to you, in a way that aligns with your lifestyle. Okay, because we get to have it all. We get to have it all. In fact, when you do break away from that 9 to 5 kind of a construct, and you don't have to do that, but typically when we move away from those more conventional, traditional type of careers and jobs, we do have more freedom, and therefore, we do have more freedom and flexibility to then reorganize our entire lives, right? That's how we start to actually work to live instead of live to work, right? So that's when our work becomes a part of our lives instead of being our whole lives. We get to craft our life the way we actually need it. So that's exactly what I did. I started by just making that decision. And then once I made that decision, the right person showed up in my life, my angel, Helen Simpkins, my first ever business coach. And when I went to her, I fully thought that I just assumed that I was going to do my corporate job, but as a freelancer. So as like a entrepreneur, kind of a person, right? I thought I was going to take all my skills from the marketing world and offer them to small businesses as my job that is not part of the corporate system anymore. I would be a standalone agent doing this work. And that's what I thought because that's all I knew. And I promise you, baby girl, some of you out here know exactly what you're meant to do. Some of you out here don't see it because you are clouded by your current experience. You're clouded by your past. You're clouded by your resume. You're clouded by the industry that you're in, the family that you're in, the culture that you're in. These are all things that are covering the full picture for you. And that was the case for me. I just thought, like, of course, all I can do, even though I'll have more freedom because I'll be a freelancer, all I can do is my corporate job. I've been doing that work for 10 years at that point. And then when I went on this journey to discover, no, what are my actual gifts? What am I actually passionate about? What could I do if nobody paid me even for it? What is a problem I would love to fix? What do people ask me for advice for? What really lights me up? What makes me lose track of time? I started exploring these things. I started asking myself these questions and exploring them. And I was really surprised to see that helping women was a burning, burning passion of mine, and justice. I had felt that women were screwed over by so many systems, things in the world. I wanted to protect women from being abused by men, corporate world, bad bosses, honestly the medical industry, because of my history with PCOS. I just had this like vigilante justice passion. And even though I had no experience, I didn't even know about the coaching world back then. And by the way, you do not have to become a coach, like, at all. There's so many other options for you. Okay, I'm just putting that out there. This is not, hey, follow my path. This is, how can you find your path? Okay. And so I had no idea about the coaching world, but when I started to put together, like, how can I use my gifts? What am I really passionate about? What am I an expert in? What do I want to share about? What legacy do I want to leave in the world? This coach kind of a persona started emerging, okay? And I had no idea about it. And the craziest thing is, even though I had no experience being a coach, my confidence was higher for being a coach than it was for being a freelance strategist, aka my old job, but freelance style. Also, my likability, I was like hot. It was a fuck yes, the coach path. The freelance path was like a, I guess I could do that. I guess. Sure, I'll do that. Do you see how that energy is not that fiery energy that's required actually if you are going to pursue your purpose and do something that takes time to develop, but the fruits can be endless? And then I also thought about my values, and that's another thing why women are not clear on what their path is, because nobody ever sits you down and says, what do you value? What is so critically important to you? What do you stand for more than anything? What values would you die for? Not that we have to die, but you know what I mean. And once I got clear on these, I realized why I was also not happy in the corporate world, even though I finally became really successful. It's because the values there just were clashing with me. And I believe most problems are a value clash problem, whether it's with your parents, with your lover, with your job. Usually friction happens from a clash in values, right? So let's say that's why, they say money is the biggest reason for divorce. Why money? Because we spend money on what we value. And so if we have two people valuing different things, maybe one person really values safety, security, and another person really values experiences and adventure. And so they're spending money maybe on vacations and different things. They're going to clash. Okay, so most problems are a value problem. Plant that seed, and now you're not going to be able to unsee it. So anyway, I got clarity on my values, and that's where I realized, like I said, my values are justice. My values are legacy. My values are beauty. I finally admitted that to myself, because as a society, we put pressure on women to be beautiful, but God forbid we admit we love beauty. And it's not just beauty for me, it's like beauty for my environment, my world, my and if you've ever worked with me, you know everything I create is like beautiful. I actually had a little meltdown today because the beautiful images that I created for my brand new course, by the way, that helps you with this. I created these beautiful images using Midjourney, which is an AI image thing. They were beautiful images to support the like mood, vibe, and energy of my course, which is a journey. And I had all these metaphors and images. They're not showing up on the app. So when you access my course on your computer or in your regular browser on your phone, you see my images. But if you actually get the app where I host my course, nowhere to be found. So anyway, so long story short, we have to get clear, first of all, on what your gifts are. By the way, I love human design and astrology for that. I see it as like a cosmic confirmation. When I have my readings, by the way, they're called goddess code sessions. When I do readings, I see myself kind of like a lawyer because I do exhibit A, exhibit B, exhibit C. I basically show you the proof in your charts of who you are, what your gifts are, what you're meant to do, etc., and how you're meant to tap into those gifts and impact the world and create the biggest success for yourself. So anyway, I do have human design and astrology in this new course. So what you want to get clear on are your values, your gifts, and then from there, you want to open your mind and shed the layers of conditioning, the layers of limitation that you're put under, because I promise you, if I didn't do that, I would never stumble upon this path. I would be somewhere out there doing marketing, freelancing for small businesses, still bored, still unfulfilled, still thinking, is this it? Okay. And so I guess I'll plug my course right here. In my course, I have specific exercises, techniques, and visualizations that help you get out of your limited fear-based brain and to really access yourself. I teach you how to identify your intuition type using your human design chart. I teach you how to access your essence from your inner child. There's so many yummy, juicy things in there, and that's why I'm calling it an adventure and a journey. There's a little bit of a scavenger hunt. It's meant to be like a fun exploration. Because, like I said, this is not about you quitting your job, moving to Bali tomorrow. This is about you getting crystal clear clarity. What your gifts are, what are potential paths, how do I choose which path is meant for me? I teach you that too. And then how do I move forward? How do I start taking action? How do I build momentum? And how do I not sabotage myself in the way? So this course that I created has all of that included in it for you, step by step, the exact framework, the exact process that I use and that I've used for so many of my brilliant clients. So I've put that together in this course that, by the way, you might be able to do in a weekend if you put your mind to it, because it's not meant to be some laborious or learning thing. I love learning. It's one of my values. But this is really about action because, girl, you are ready. You don't need to learn more. You don't need more skills. What we need to do is help you get crystal clear on the skills that you already have and put together this path that makes you go, holy shit, I cannot believe I didn't see this path before, but this is so me. This is meant for me, and I am so ready to start taking those bold baby steps towards it. So anyway, that is what I have for you today. If you're curious about this course, check it out. I'm going to link it below. It's called Uncover Your Gifts, Claim Your New Path. And by the way, if you're watching this in November 2025, depending on when you're watching, there is a Black Friday sale going on for this specific course. So if you want to get it and it's that time, get it. But I highly recommend this course regardless of a sale because, you know, can we really put a price tag on earth-shattering, life-changing, life-defining clarity? Because I promise you, once you're clear, the confidence just magically appears. Like truly, once you're clear, like it's almost like you receive this map. This is who I am. This is what I do. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to create. It's like you don't even need the confidence because your body itself is going to be dying to go on that path because it will be so clear to you that it is your destiny, it's your God-given destiny, and that you're meant for it. Anyway, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop those below, and I can't wait to hear from you. Get that clarity, figure out what you're doing, and as Ross from Friends says, pivot, pivot, pivot.